All right. Welcome, 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 welcome to day 45 of the Frizzyninja Ultimate Fight Series. The fight series where we just do lots and lots and lots of Naruto fights, and I'm probably falling all over my words because I woke up 20 minutes ago. And I had my cup of tea to help me stay awake, and accompanied by a cup of water and another cup of water. Fabulous. I'm just going to kick straight on into it because I was disappointed last time that I didn't get to as many fights as I wanted. But today is a new day. What are we at? Yeah, so it is 8:11 a.m. in the morning. And what? 8:11 a.m. and I've just woken up, and I'm surprised that I woke up so early because I did go to sleep at like almost 1 o'clock last night, and that was more so after the stream. I played. The boy was in bed, so I played some Star Ocean until like until like 12:30. So I got to a bit where you can't. Where it's one of those bits where it's like a big section you can't really save. Hello. Do what? Okay. I can make waffles later if you want. Yeah, I had it. Well, I if you want to get stuff for breakfast, that's okay. We can have waffles after. We don't need anything for the waffles, that's the thing, we've got everything here. Chocolate chips and bacon. Yes. Okay. Okay, you should grab some hash. Yes, you should grab some hashies. Yeah. Okay, thank you. No video. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, how did I not even... Oh my lordy. Oh my lordy, I'm such a numpty. Oh, I'm such a numpty. 1 second. 1 second. Oh my lord. Right, come on. Pick that video. There we are. Lovely. I cannot believe I didn't even notice that. Thank you. Much appreciated. As I said, it's too early in the morning. It is far too early in the morning. And as you can tell, I'm not a morning person. But, alas, here we are. Let us continue. Let us continue. Oh my goodness. Anyway, hope you've been doing good. Honestly, my families, I suppose. You know, you get morning people, and then you get not morning people, and like me and my mum are not morning people. I suppose my little sister as well. My dad, I guess he's a morning person in the sense that he just wakes up naturally early. He's kind of like a boy. They just wake up naturally early, and then just that's it. But anyway, so me and my mum and my little sister are not morning people, to the point that, like, you know, when we were younger, mum was trying to take us to church all the time. You know, church at 9 o'clock on a Sunday, no, 9:30 on a 9:30 on a Sunday morning. You know, right, let's go to church. I'm like, wow, really? It's just, I mean, even it's 9:30. It's like, it's so early. And then it got to the point where she was sleeping and she wanted to sleep in as well. So then church moved to, we had to go to the what was it? Oh, like 7:30 on a Saturday night. So we started going for that for a while, and then I think we didn't because the TV show that we wanted to watch were on TV, and oh my god, that sounds so awful. Like, I'm sorry God, but it sounds bad. But anyway, so lo and behold, us not being morning people was how us trying to go to church every week failed. Yeah, and now, and because that was obviously when you're a teenager, and they do say that scientifically teenagers their whole like body clock cycle is out of whack anyway. And then it's weird because so I used to not be a morning person. I'd wake up at, you know, sometimes I wake up at like 12, like lunchtime. So I'll be having like good 12-hour, 13-hour sleeps. Maybe sometimes even 9-hour sleeps. But then now, because we have to get up at about, at the latest, 6 in the mornings to be able to get to work fast enough to get a free park. And so, and then now, like, I'm like struggling. If I need to stay up to 1 o'clock, I'm like struggling. I'm really forcing myself awake. Or, like, it'd be the kind of thing that, you know, when I know Final Fantasy 16 comes out, like, I'll be pulling all-nighters for that sort of stuff. But that's like the first instance in God knows how long. It's yeah. My whole body clock is now like, even though I'm still not a morning person, I don't think I could sleep until like 11 or 10:30 anymore. It's weird. And I'm just like, oh no. Oh no. Is this what being an adult's like? It is, isn't it? Oh goodness. But then it kind of like it's all the cycle, because I always say to myself, I can't, especially on Sundays, I can't get up too late, because then that means I'll be falling asleep. You know, I'll struggle to get to sleep that night. And if I struggle to get to sleep that night, then Monday morning is going to be more hell, because now I've had lack of sleep for the first day of work, well, back at work. So it's just all basically is we need to get rid of work and just you're able to sleep into whatever time you want. Like if only IT consultancy let you just wake up whenever you wanted to, and not have to worry about getting into work at 8 and finishing it. Well, technically I can actually get it at 7, finish at 4, but still. Oh yeah, it's Akamaru. Honestly, it was back at school. All the girls that would say, "Oh my god, anime is so dumb. You like that Naruto stuff? That is so lame." And then all you just do is show them like Akamaru, and they're like, "Oh my god, that is my favorite character. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness." So I'm like, "See, not all anime is bad, guys. Anime's got cute dogs." Come on. Oh, bruh. Right. Come on. Oh, Lord. Oh yeah, at least I got fabulous. Yes, exactly that. Exactly that. Like they always, what anime was it? Was it a Kamega Kill? There was like, oh my goodness, it was like a 1 series anime that my friend got me to watch. It was fantastic. And it was, this chick had like a dog or something on a chain, and then the dog just suddenly just goes like super huge and muscly and like evil demon dog all of a sudden. Yeah, and everyone was like, the dog's still cute. I would still die for him. Lovely. Right, what do we got next? Itachi, Akatsuki, and Yankiba. And Yankiba, did I say? Lovely. Oh my goodness, I had a really weird dream just before I say it's really weird. It's actually far more normal than a lot of my dreams. But what's it? I had a dream that me and my younger sister and one of my older sisters and my mum were on a plane, and we were in like the row of seats just in the middle, 4 across the middle, and then I woke up, and for some reason I just had this perception that we'd only been on the flight for, I had been like asleep on the plane for like 15 hours, so I'd like completely missed most of it. And then I had a dream that we had to what? Oh, like sometimes when you're coming in, and it's been a long time since I've been on an international flight as well, but we had to, like, when you're coming into a country, you have to fill in like these arrival cards or something, just to say, have I got apples in my bag, in which case you've got to go through biosecurity, but all those sorts of things. And then I had like the giant pad of like the slips paper that they give you, kind of like one that you can just rip off a piece off the slab and carry on. And I had one of them in my pocket, so I was giving them out to everyone. And then the air hostesses were coming down with giving out the slips of paper as well. And then my older sister's like, "What the hell? How did you get that?" I'm like, "I just found it in my pocket." And she's like, "Oh my goodness!" So then she had to like make a run for it and give it to the air hostesses. So then we did that, and then I looked behind me and the bathrooms were closed. I'm like, great, I need to go pee. And then so I got past my sister, and it was also strange in the fact that there was a lot of leg room on these planes. It was like a good like solid meter between her legs and the chair in front, which is, as anyone who's flown internationally would know, is a blessing if you can get more than 10 centimeters leg room, all economy class anyway. And then there was that, and then so I went to the bathroom, and because normally like I fear would be the wrong term, but airport bathrooms in airplanes historically, I've had to I was so scared of the sound that they made that I would have to go bathroom, and then I'd have to go bathroom at the time like one of my parents did. So then they would go in after me and flush it for me. Sounds so gross, but anyway, I'm better now. I just blocked my ears. But anyway, what's it? So I had a dream I went into the big bathroom, and then I could hear my boss from work, must have been in the other bathroom on the plane, and for some reason the sound could travel through the pipes. The pipes must have all been interconnected, so I could hear my boss on the phone with someone in another one of the oh my god, oh my goodness lordy, I didn't even realise. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I could hear my boss in the talking to someone on the phone, and he was talking about how when because we were all going to Ireland, and then he was saying that him and some other guy that he was with must have been going to Ireland as well. Oh, actually no, they weren't going to Ireland with us, because they say that sometimes when they travel internationally with people, they don't like going to the same place as the main travelling party or something. And then he was mumbling or something else. But anyway, and then my dream ended. And that was it. That was my dream. Which is actually, now that I say it, far tamer than any dream. I've had some wacko dreams sometimes. I did used to write them all down in a dream journal. Not like a dream journal as in my dream in life is to marry insert X thing. It's all good, you do not need to apologise for even just stopping by just for a little bit. Go back to bed, sort your headache. Water, Panadol if you've got Panadol. Panadol if you've got Panadol. And I would say ice cream, because that's helped me. Ice cream is a panacea for me, but other than that, no, don't apologise at all. Make sure you get lots of rest. Thank you, I shall. I've managed to knock off a couple of days, in terms of like, managed to knock off a week's worth of fights, but yeah. But no, take care, make sure you look after yourself. So I'm just gonna, lovely, fabulous. Now I just have to pray and hope to the Lord Jesus Almighty that I had not done Itachi Katsuki version versus young Shina. I'm such a muppet. God, the amount of times I've been doing that lately, picking the wrong character. And just being completely oblivious to the fact I'm playing the wrong character. Oh my goodness, losing me marbles. Maybe I've got early onset dementia. But if the doctor, you know that there's like, you carry on your day, you're like, there's something wrong here, and you you almost say to yourself, and probably to the shock of probably the people of your peers, you go, you know what? If I went to the doctor and they said this, it would put so much things in perspective. It would, like, everything would make sense. And they're like, I hope you're not wanting the doctor to say that. I'm like, as horrible as those diagnoses would be, the fact that it would explain a lot of things would be semi-reassuring. But then again, at the same time, it's like, I'd rather just be forgetful than have dementia, obviously. Or forgetful than Alzheimer's. Oh, come on. Oh, screw it. Screw it, I'm not even gonna bother with that ultimate. Oh yeah, got him in a split second. I'm excited for breakfast. It's always Sunday morning is always an exciting time for me and the boy, because oftentimes, especially, well, actually I say oftentimes, if we actually get up early enough, we'll go out and get buy some nice things for breakfast. So I've got to make, so this morning will be some delightful Belgian waffles in my waffle maker, which on theme, I say on theme, because I've always loved the idea of having everything in our house like nerd themed, supporting the giant corporations of the world, so I've got my little Mandalorian Baby Yoda waffle maker, which I'm very, so we've got that, so we're going to be having some waffles and some hash browns and some bacon. It's going to be delightful. I'm very looking forward to it. It's always one of those things where you always think, you know, with this whole cost of living crisis going up, you know, is it actually cheaper to, you know, go out and have breakfast out somewhere else than it would be to buy the ingredients and make it at home? And at this point in time, even with all the food prices going up, a lot of the time it actually still is cheaper going and buying stuff yourself. Like we the other night we went to the supermarket. We bought Friday night steak night. We went and bought some because we we'd forgotten to pull the steak out of the freezer. So we just went to Canada and bought some more steak, and ice cream, and what did we buy? We bought a lot. We bought mini donuts, ice cream, steak, and bought something else. I'm pretty sure milk. And yeah, so we bought all that, and then as we were driving out of the car park, he's like, you know what? He's like, you know, I was totally actually craving Macca's, but now I'm kind of glad that we didn't go to Macca's. And I'm like, I know, right? Because Macca's actually would have cost double what we paid. Like we've noticed, and it's in New Zealand more so. I don't know if it's somewhere, you know, if it's anywhere else in the world, but we've noticed that, you know, I remember the good old days back in my youth, because I'm not young anymore. Back in my youth, you know, and maybe I just remembered it all wrong, or maybe I was just buying the cheap things, but it always just struck me that Macca's used to be, you know, $10 would get you a lot of stuff. Like, you could get chips, you could get chicken nuggets, you could probably get like a cheeseburger, maybe even throw in an ice cream there. You get all of that for $10. Now, all of that will cost you about at least like 25. And it's, maybe 25 is probably an exaggeration, but basically, it costs you over double what it used to be. Or at least what I remember it being. Every now and then you'll get, you know, the saver menu where a cheeseburger and chips is like $4. But that's, you know, you'd be hard pressed to get that on a good day. And it's the same thing like with BK. I remember Burger King. You used to be able to get this thing called the Big Feed, and I don't know if it was a New Zealand only thing, but my goodness. So this thing called the Big Feed, $10 gets you chips, a drink, a sundae, or small chips, small drink, sundae, Whopper, and cheeseburger. All for $10. That was incredible. It was amazing. It was priceless. It was fantastic. And now, obviously, they've discontinued that, probably because all the execs, they couldn't go on their Paris holiday, so they needed to up prices. So they could then up their salaries and they could go on their holidays, but that's just my opinion. And, you know, now to get all of that's going to cost you like $20, $30. And it's just like now, takeouts is actually far more expensive. Like, yes, it's faster, but it's actually so much more expensive now than eating at home. It's like insane how expensive things are. Like a dinner at Macca's is now like $40. If we want to get, you know, if we want to get some nice stuff, it's $40 at Macca's, which is actually insane. For the convenience that, you know, for what stuff like McDonald's and BK and KFC and all them are supposed to, I suppose, represent, that's mental. Well, especially in Macca's and BK, it's meant to be super cheap and fast, you know, and fast. They've got the fast still, you know, that hasn't changed, but the cheap, yeah, not anymore. Anyway, that's all a very, 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 very long way of saying me and the boy are looking forward to our waffles and bacon this morning. Oh, and also the boy has the boy has, so he's recently just bought himself, I say recently as in like 2 days ago, bought himself a new truck. He's traded in his old one, and he's managed to get himself a 4-wheel drive, and it looks practically identical, except that, like, imagine you took the body off of his old one and just put it on a bigger chassis, and it is now his pride and joy. It is his life. Hello. What you get?
Hash browns.
Yes.
Maple syrup.
Yes.
Chocolate chips.
Yes. Oh, delightful. Yes, I use it for the butterscotch biscuits. Yeah. Thank you. But yeah, so his 4-wheel drive is he's been absolutely dying to get a 4-wheel drive. It is his life. It is his everything. It is his child. But I'm just like, because he's to really be able to get out to the hunting spots and the fishing spots, like the good ones that no one else goes to, you need a 4-wheel drive, because it's literally off the beaten path. And with his 2-wheel drive, you can get most of the way, get on the beaten path, but not beyond it. So he's been like, I need a 4-wheel drive, and we've always had, oh my goodness, either the house as the savings goal, so there's that, or just never find one never able to find one that he likes. So he managed to he put his truck up on Trade Me. He got some people interested, but no one actually said anything. He was like, I just want to sell my truck now. So then he found a place in town, and that does trade-ins. So he said, oh hey, how much would you get for this? And they're like, oh, we'll probably give you this. And he's like, oh sweet, that's like way more than I thought they would say. So then what? So he took it in, and they're like, yeah, we'll give you this. And he's like, sweet, well I've got this in cash. And they're like, cool, well you just got to pay the rest off, pay like, I think it's something like $200 every 2 weeks, which is nothing. But basically he'll be able to get it all paid off in 6 months, essentially. By the end of next year, we're back to, again, no debts, other than mortgage and a student loan. What's that? Yeah, so he bought it, and then he's like, no, of course not, man. I'm just telling them the story of your 4-wheel drive and how you're very excited. Yes. So I've got to the part where you traded it in. Yeah. So he trades it in, and then he sends me pics, and he's like, oh my goodness. And then after work, went over and saw it because it was parked next to my car. And then I'm just like, oh my god, and you could just see like he was so happy, and I was so happy for him as well, to see him, it's kind of like what? It's kind of like a game that you've been waiting for. It's like me with Final Fantasy 16. The day that I get Final Fantasy 16, I'll be so immensely happy, and I'm sure he'll be sharing in my joy. But it was like that. It was just like you could just see all of that time. I could do with a refill. And actually no. I've got too much to drink to skull. It was just like, you could see like he's been waiting for it for so long, and now all the things that he can do, so I was just like, oh, it's great. Anyway, so then we drove it home, and then we got home and he's like, oh my god, these tyres are so loud. It's like thunder coming down the road. But so now he's got a thing, and then we took a picture of him next to the truck. We put it in the group chat we have with his fan, so like yesterday we took it out to we went to we need to go to Mitre 10 to get like a replacement window handle or something, so one of our window handles came off, and we went to the shopping centre that we always go to the food court, because oh my goodness, quick segue, this food court has the most incredible Turkish kebabs ever in my life. It is insane. It is the most incredible thing ever put to human consumption. It is perfection in Turkishness. It is incredible. Anyway, so we park up, and then so because we were walking, we parked it up on like the roof car park, what's it? And then when we were walking away, he's like, you're like turning and looking at your truck, just being like, yes, yeah, basically just like admiring it from afar. And I'm just like, look, it's a 4-wheel drive, and it's your 4-wheel drive. It's like, he's very excited. He dreams about his 4-wheel drive. Oh yeah, he has nightmares about it getting stolen. I'm gonna wake up and you'll have like padlocked it to the house or something. Put like do not enter signs. Well, yeah, but my little fluffy thing will be, it'll be like the gatekeeper of hell. It'll be ferocious and fierce and feared. No, but I do want one of the dogs that kind of like just it doesn't actually care who comes. They're just like super friendly anyway. Lovely. I was thinking about like what my equivalent of like, you know, the big purchase that I've been waiting for ages, and I'm like, I don't think I've got one. I don't think I have one. It's just like, I don't know, games that come out, I guess. Yeah, lots of small ones, but not one big, like, 4-wheel drive boat-sized purchase. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, I'm not gonna win. Goodness, that was a rubbish fight. Oh my goodness, this is painful how slow I'm going. Right, I need to claw back the speed by, what do I need to claw back the speed by? On the fights like I just don't even worry about the ultimates. I noticed the AI is going a bit handy. And it was interesting too, like the AI knows what's needed to cancel an attack. So it knew that, you know, when I was as Tamari and I was trying to do the jutsu, it just knew that I just had to throw some kunai and boom, like that's it. I've now been, it stops it. But just like the fact that an AI, because the computer can get that off so fast that like I mean, and it's probably just me having super slow reflexes. But like to be able to respond that quickly, it's almost like as soon as you've done the button input, the computer knows to counter it. It's crazy. Right, hopefully this will be faster. Technically, I've also actually done 2 fights. I've also actually done a pairing. I've done a pairing that I wasn't expecting to do either, which was the Itachi Akatsuki versus Shina. So technically, or actually done 2 more fights than I thought. So you've got to remember that as well. Lovely. I need to try and keep it above 60 counts. And if that means I forego an ultimate, then I do. I want to see if she has something special for Sasuke for It's okay, I can recover. Lovely. Okay, so I'm going to update the fights now. So I'm down to 8170. I think. Well, first off, I'm just going to super quickly check. Super quickly check that I haven't already done Itachi versus young Shino. Because that would be a goof. What have we done? Katsuki, young Shino. Where are you? Have I done it? Oh, I haven't done it. Fabulous. Lovely. Jubbly. Amazing. Right, there we go. 1881. 70. Fabulous. Done. Boom. Okay, what have we got? Kiba and Utakata again. Lovely. Oh, there we go. How's your gun? It's good. It's good. Stop running away. goodness, stop running away. Just trying to do his ultimate. Oh no, he's trying to do his awakening. Oh, come on. There we go. Right, that was rubbish. Okay. No, don't want bubble. No dragon. Basically, to still be on track, I need to have gotten to fight 33 or 34. No, fight 34 by the hour mark. I'm only on fight 24 now, so that's not going to happen. Lovely. Oh my goodness. Great. Okay, now we've got Naruto, Toad, Sage, and Hidan. So Hidan I'm not going to bother trying to do his ultimate unless the perfect opportunity presents itself. Here we go, lovely. Lovely, nice and fast. See, and that would be an example of the perfect opportunity to start on that. picking up pace. Just if the fights go this sort of cadence, then we should be okay to hit our target. Lovely. That could have gone better, but that's okay. That one. Just gonna keep doing this. One more. Done. Okay. Now where are we at? Guy and Alex escape. Right, this should be a fast fight. Hopefully. Okay, might actually be able to claw back my the speed. Because I think if I'd kept it on, if I'd kept it on my pardon? No, I was just wondering what that was. Is that like a bird or something? A bird. No, it sounded like a cawing of a bird. It was what? Oh, never mind. phase, then it gives me time to charge that up, and then do my ultimate. That's what I need to put together. A kind of like a for the length of time it takes for the ultimate animation to finish, what's the damage output? So like per second of ultimate animation, how much damage do you get out of it? In which case, there'll be some characters or some ultimates that you'll want to do because it will do, I don't know, 80 points of damage but only take 3 seconds or 4 seconds, in which case it's 20 points per second, whereas others would be like 10 seconds but 80 points, in which case it's only 8 points per second. It's getting way too technical for something that doesn't even need to be analysed that heavily. So like that one, like Sasuke's one does a similar amount of damage, but the animation time is like they're like half of it. Reanimation. There, and it's just that. That one always seems to have a longer range than I think. I always think it does. Okay, who we've got next? We've got Young Kakashi and Juga. Right, these will be some fast fights. Hopefully. Shuko and Kakashi. I was watching there's a guy on YouTube that I watch, JX. I think he's changed his name to JX, the Empress of Milk or something, somewhere there. Anyway, but so he's a big Doctor Who fan, with some things to say about the latest thing. Oh, but not necessarily negative. But anyway, but he did a thing where he was doing some quizzes, like how on those websites where people just put up, they just make their own quizzes of stuff. And he did a Doctor Who quiz, but it was from I think it was from like 2005 or like the first 2 seasons of the reboot. Yeah, it's actually a reboot. And it was like, I think the quiz was meant to be something like, it's a difficult one. It's meant to be like, the details of the episodes. But it bordered on the point where it's almost like, you just get those people who they pause every single frame of it, and it was questions like, so like there's a I suppose a villain, I guess, ish, in one set of episodes called the Jagrafess. It's like basically just this big like pink blob thing with like a mouth and teeth and whatever. Excuse me. That does stuff. And one of the questions was, how many teeth does it have? And like, yes, there are shots where it shows how many teeth, where it opens its mouth and you can see lots of teeth. But unless you paused the TV and counted every single tooth that it had, there's like, it's not mentioned in any line. No character ever says, oh, he's got 2,000 teeth, or he's got whatever teeth. Like, none of it's ever mentioned. You'd have to have paused and counted, and like, who is going to do that beyond the person who just made the quiz? Like, no one's going to do that. So if you ever want good quiz writing, if you ever want to know how to write good quizzes, don't do questions where they would have to have done something very specific themselves to be able to get the answer, or requires like frame pauses. It needs to be something that either character has said in a quote, or that there's like an obvious thing that's, well, not necessarily obvious, but that be within reasonable, they would be able to get within reason. Yeah, so there was that question. Then they had something else as well. It was like, how many teeth does that have? And then there was another one where, anyway, can't remember the other ones, but it was so funny. It was obviously it was a quiz writer that likes, I want to write a super hard quiz that like no one's gonna get 100% of the answer to unless they perfectly guessed. And it's it was funny to see this guy do it, because he's like he's like really good. It's like everything there is to possibly know about Doctor. He's got like a encyclopedic memory of it. But even he was just like, what the hell are even these questions? Because then like it also like reminded me, and I suppose like in a sense you could, you would be able to if you played it enough and you paid enough attention, you would eventually be able to remember. But I remember doing even a Final Fantasy X quiz, and it was like, if you buy 2 high potions from Owaka the 13th on the Kilika Toluca ship, how much gold does that cost? It's like, I don't know, I've never bought 2 high potions from that particular merchant at that particular point in the game. So how would I know? Because I know, and I'm not sure if it would have taken effect then, No, it wouldn't have. But like, because the Awaka 13th merchant in that game is a special in the sense that every time you talk to him, like in the early game, you have an option to donate money, and if before a certain other point in the game, if you had donated a particular amount overall, then his prices are like cut, like almost like halved of what they are. So it's kind of, you know, the idea being, you know, you get the investment, you put the investment in early, and then you reap the benefits of it later on in the game, where you've already got bajillion more gil, and you probably don't really need a discount. Well, what are we at with 38? We're only 2 minutes, I think I might call it back. So this round I'll be doing about 76 or something. Yeah, like sort of late 70s. Right. Oh, Kimimaru's going to be one of those punks today. I've always noticed that Kimimaru's AI is it's like Itachi's. A little bit too good than he should be. At this difficulty level anyway. I'm not going to try and do I'm not going to try and do ultimate. Lovely. Okay, what do we got next? Naruto Kurama and A. Just gonna do them single, because I find that other one never seems to hit, or I always seem to have trouble. It's like the water dragon one. It's very easy to dodge, so I'm gonna do one that's a bit harder to dodge. Oh, one thing that I saw, which was that it seems exciting if it's, you know, if it's true, is so one of the complaints. Oh, there's at the moment seems to be a lot of, you know, well, not necessarily debates, but just there seems to be a lot of talk about, you know, is Game Pass or PlayStation Plus better? Is Game Pass worth it? Is PlayStation Plus worth it? Oh my goodness. PlayStation Plus actually has lost, ever since they brought out the new tier system, I think it's lost 2 million subscribers on it. And Sony is saying that they reckon it's because COVID's, you know, the lockdowns and all that sort of stuff is practically over. People are going outside more, therefore that's why they're not subscribing to PlayStation Plus. And I'm like, I don't think that would be why. I don't think the fact that they go outside would be, like, they go outside, but then when they come back inside, they're going to want to play games. So I think that's probably more likely. I think it's Sony trying to desperately hope that it's for some reason other than the fact that they introduced a tiered system that a lot of people don't actually quite like. What's it? But anyway, so yeah, and then people say that it was interesting because I saw a couple of months ago, you know, Game Pass is making like bajillion dollars, but then also Game Pass is losing Xbox money or something. Anyway, it's most 80% of news articles nowadays are just all nonsense and rubbish and non-articles. But anyway, this is all to say that PlayStation Plus, the one thing that people are wondering, that they are getting come on about is the amount of games on there. Is Game Pass is constantly putting out game after game after game on there. It's always regularly updating itself, and PlayStation Plus is very slow to add new games, really slow. And even then it's games, some people are saying that they reckon what's happened is they've taken off, there's a lot of games that probably could have been on there from day one and they take them off and then chuck them back on again, something like that anyway. Yeah, and then the other thing too is the classics catalogue is Sony, you have the most prime opportunity. You've got a classics catalogue there, which is under the premium tier, so the most expensive one. If you want to drive people to your service, you've got 3 console generations worth of games to put on there. You've got PS2, the absolute gold mine that the PS2 is. If you put all the big stuff on there, bruh, you're gonna get those 2 billion subscribers back and some. You know, it's gonna be I would pay for premium if they had a decent huge catalogue of all the PS1, PS2 and PS3 games. My goodness. Hands down I would pay for the premium one. I know too that though, because somebody's saying that the reason they don't do that is they have to now integrate trophies into games that didn't automatically have trophies, but Steam does that quite easily anyway. So they've got to do that and they've got to port it, and then sometimes, for instance, of the Naruto Broken Bond games, that they can't port it because something that no one actually owns the game anymore. There's no developer or company that actually owns the game. It used to be Ubisoft, but then something happened. Anyway, long story short, there's some games that will be a legal nightmare to port, so that's why they're not. The return on investment wouldn't be there. It's all that sort of thing, which is the reason why. But it's almost a no-brainer that you would. But anyway, this is all a very long way of saying that there's possibly the old Ratchet and Clank games coming into PlayStation Plus. And I'm well, if they could do that, they've done that, they've done the Spyros, they've done actually, not fully, they've done the Jack and Daxters, Sony, come on, you're so close to having a winner, something that can properly rival Game Pass, but they just don't do the obvious thing. I'm still holding on hope that one day something will happen that will suddenly mean that whether it's just on one, whether it's a Stadia type thing or but I'm holding on hope that there'll be some way, either whether it's you have to go to Xbox for the Xbox stuff or PlayStation, whatever, but not necessarily every game that's ever come out, but a catalogue of 3,000 games for you to choose from every PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5, and then Xbox 360, One X, whatever. just this whole catalogue of all of these games that you can play. Because I think like PS Now sort of had that ish, but for whatever reason they don't anymore. Because it's just like everyone said that, you know, the what's it, something like the Sony not president, but the kind of like the Phil Spencer of Sony was saying that, oh, no one cares about old games anymore, so we won't care about old games if no one else does. And we're like, bruh, when has the general public ever said that we don't care about old games? Never. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, no, fair enough. I see your point. Yeah, because I'm thinking if Sony probably need to make it, I suppose, clearer on what their vision for the PlayStation Plus stuff is. Because, I mean, Game Pass is, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say you can name what their business strategy is, but it's you know, you could trust that on Game Pass will be day one releases, you know, deals with Ubisoft and EA or whatever, so you can get, you know, more games from those publishers. You know, they've got on their like showcases, they've got oh, and by the way, here's what's coming up for Game Pass later. You know, it's actually like built into their whole business strategy is, and it's a big part of it. So whereas Sony's just like, oh yeah, that's right, PlayStation Plus is a thing. Yeah, there's games on there. Go have a look. But it's no like, you know, oh my goodness, this Sony game, it's got, you know, day one release on PlayStation Plus. You know, there's none of that. Which is whereas Xbox does do that. You know, all of like, oh, here's all these games coming out. Oh, by the way, they're all free to, you know, day one on Game Pass. And it was like, yo, let's go get Game Pass so I can play and Scorn, like straight away, that sort of thing. Which I'm thinking Sony would probably benefit from something like that. Yeah, I just think as a business model, Xbox has done it better. I've been thinking more and more about Starfield recently, and I'm actually so excited to play it.
Hey, what?
Starfield.
Yeah.
I'm actually.
More and more I think about, I'm like, it's a really cool game.
I think it's going to be great. Because I think just from the nature of it, it's not ever going to be so god awful that it's. I don't think there's a possibility that it can be completely god awful. Even if it's just Skyrim in space, it's already like there's a minimum quality level that it will have. So it will never be rubbish and unplayable and whatever, but it will be. And I mean, I'm sure a lot of people would be able to counter that and say, well, here's the ways that it could be. But no, I just think it's going to be fantastic. Like, good on them for being ambitious. Anyway, like, I think ambition is something that game developers are scared to do now, because, you know, ambition will often bite them in the ass. yeah, like everyone's scared to take risks, I guess. But Bethesda's like, you know what? We don't care. We're super excited to put this game out. We've worked on it since the dawn of time. It's, you know, next minute they reveal that it's like they've been working on it since Bethesda first, you know, became a thing. And it's, you know, 24. I actually don't know how long Bethesda's been around for, but a long time. That would be great. It would be great. And then someone was saying that they reckon there'll be like a mortgage or like a loan system, because they were saying something like they were watching one of the game. Oh no, they're watching something like the character creator or the ship creator or something, or like where like you choose your background and all that sort of thing, and they noticed something, whether it was like an icon or they noticed something on the UI, and they were like, oh, is it like a system where you can like take out loans? Like, I want to get like a super, you know, I want to get a super ship now. I'm gonna take out a loan from this company or whatever, but then obviously I'm gonna have to pay it back. And they were wondering, like, is it gonna have like a whole like economy system, like similar? Well, I don't know if like things like EVE Online or whatever have economy systems, but or loans like that. But yeah, so everyone's reckoned that it's going to be all that stuff as well, which will actually be, you know, as much as boring as loans are, it's a pretty neat idea. You know, it's kind of like in Skyrim. Let's say you can take out a loan in Solitude to get the oh god, whatever. Is it Summit Miss? No, it's not Summit Miss Manor, is it? Or it might be Summit Miss Manor. The house in Solitude anyway, like the most expensive one. Like, imagine if you could go to the Thane, go to the Jarl, or the Jarl's attendant steward, and be like, yo, I don't have I think it's something like 28,000 gold or something. I don't have it now, but like, can you trust that if you got a loan for 10,000 gold, and you had like a week to pay it back in game, can you trust that you would be able to get 10,000 gold in Skyrim to be able to pay in a week's daytime to be able to pay that loan back? Because it's like it's an interesting thing. So, I think, yes. I think when Starfield comes out, the things that it will be compared to will be compared to Skyrim, first off. It will be compared to Mass Effect, and it will possibly be compared to... Everything's compared to The Witcher nowadays, so it will be compared to The Witcher 3. Oh! Oh yes, yeah, compared to all that. Yeah, so it'll be compared to all of those. And I think people will be searching. It's like, I talked like in a previous stream, I was saying that I think Starfield, like, if I enjoy Starfield, which I know I will enjoy it, I think I should make it known that I enjoy it, because I think it's one of those games that people are going to be searching for the problems for. They're going to be nitpicking for nitpicking's sake, just so they can say that Bethesda put out another bad game. Like, I just get this feeling that with how discourse has been around Bethesda recently, in the last few years, they'll be searching for something wrong. I just get this weird feeling that that would be the case. As much as you would hope that people are searching for how it does things well, because, you know, nothing supports the game industry like people supporting good games. But yeah, I just feel like they're going to be looking for the problems. They'll be like, oh yeah, the cities are big and, you know, they've got heaps of stuff to do, but it's not as doesn't feel as populated as Night City and Cyberpunk. Or, oh yeah, the side quests are good, but they're not as good as Witcher 3 side quests. And it's like, oh yeah, the plans are good, but they're not as good as Mass Effect plans. It's like there'll be all of that comparisons, I feel. And, you know, as much as it's, you know, compare stuff to other things all you want. Like, there's no, you know, it's not wrong to compare things to each other, but I just think it's gonna be one of those things that people just will want it to fail, or be excited when they find something wrong with it. I don't know, I could be completely cynical about it, but I don't know, I just get this weird feeling. And maybe it's actually, and then again, that might actually not be what general consensus is. Like, it might actually be that a lot of people just want it to do well, and it's actually all the, you know, as I said, the non-articles and just the rubbish for the sake of rubbish, is just saying all these negative things about Starfield just because it will get clicks on their article, probably. People are more likely to read an article about how, I don't know, about something negative than they would about, you know, people are more likely to read an article about how Starfield is rubbish than they would saying Starfield's great. Like, that's generally what it is. They say people are more inclined to read things about the negative aspect of something than they would about the positive. Which is a completely screwed up kind of perspective, but it's true. Like, they've run the numbers on it, on articles that are either saying something's bad or saying, oh my god, this person did this bad thing or whatever. They get far more clicks and far more views than things saying the positives about something. It's just like, that's the world we live in today. People relish in others' misery. What was I reading? I was reading something that said like the quests in Witcher, something like the quests in the Witcher. Oh, someone was saying that the side quests in Ragnarok are better than the Witcher 3 side quests. Which yeah. I was one of the I don't know which reviewer, but one of the reviewers of Ragnarok, they said, oh my god, some of the best content in Ragnarok is hidden behind the side quests. Well, like how, like in the other game, you'd be able to go off a channel and suddenly you're now in a whole new region. There's like a little mini dungeon and everything there, kind of like that. And then there'll be like the like those ghosts that you find on the shore of the lake, and they give you, you know, I died.
Oh, so I thought you were talking about Valhalla.
Oh no, I'm talking about Ragnarok. Oh yes, yeah. Yes, right. No, but I'm like, that's it's saying that the side quests are better than Witcher 3 is. That's a bold statement. Some side quests in Witcher 3 are absolute just narrative and gameplay gold. They are fantastic. Again. Give him fireball jutsu. after this fight, so we're down to 38. Oh man, you have to try better than this. Lovely. Okay. Let's update the list. Down to 8,138. Oh, exciting. Almost down to 700. Alright, so 8138. Hang on. Yeah, that one's done. That one below. Then we've got B and Youngton. Yes. God, next year's just gonna be so good for games. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. My backlog's gonna suffer so badly. Because it's like, you know, the games coming out in February can tide me over to the games coming out in March, which can tide me over to the games coming out in April, which can tide me over to Tears of the Kingdom in May, which will probably tide... I've got a feeling that Final Fantasy 16 is going to come out June. I'm feeling. And so then that will tide me over to what's coming out in July, which will tide me over to what's coming out in August, which will tide me over... You know, it's just going to be... Just as soon as you finish one, you're just straight on to the next one. Oh, it's going to be fabulous. Oh, it's going to be so good. And all the poor games that I've had sitting on my backlog for like 3 years are just gonna be sitting there, waiting patiently. Waiting patiently for their time. And then, because the other problem with liking RPGs and JRPGs is just how, like, they're all long games, you know, average like 50 hours plus, so it's going to take even longer to get through the JRPGs that I've got sitting on the backlog too. Then we got Conan again, oh my goodness, and Kisame. Yeah, but if they had to release a full, complete remastered collection of a game franchise, like, so kind of like how they did like the Spyro trilogy and the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, but like it's every game in that franchise, what would you like to see? Yeah, so like it's like the Witcher collection. Yeah. Yeah. The same as Witcher 3. Yeah. Oh yeah, hopefully the combat in the Witcher remakes the same as the third one. Yeah. That's probably why they went different in the second one. Yeah. Because I remember getting the guide, or like seeing the guidebook like that comes with the game, and I'm like, oh. So it's like maybe when they release the game, the quest designer's like, oh, beans. I forgot to put quest markers in, so it's just like, can we just like write up a book that just tells you where to go? Yeah. Like something, I'm just thinking what game I'd like. What game series. Because I mean, Final Fantasy, like, there's no point doing Final Fantasy because they all kind of get little like mini remasters all the time anyway. Same with Dragon Quest. What's Zelda? Ooh, possibly? No. Zelda's all good anyway. And Zelda will probably require if like, let's say if they did all of the games in the style of Ocarina of Time, then you'd be having to like a lot of the like puzzles would have to be completely rethought out because a lot of it takes advantage of the fact that it's top down. So not Zelda. What other ones have we got? The Dragon Age games. No, Dragon Age games are okay. Tintin and Tobirama. Might need to consult my Might need to. Oh my goodness. I need to consult my thingamabob, my gaming tracker, just to see what games I actually have played. Assassin's Creed, no. Borderlands, no. Crash Bandicoot, no. Divinities. No. Dragon Quests, Dragon Ages. Fire Emblems and Final Fantasies, no. Legos, no. Marvel's, Mass Effects, Naruto's, Ni no Kuni's, Ace Attorney's, Pillar of Eternity, Pokemon's, Ratchet and Clank, Rogue Galaxy. Who was I just playing as? Tobirama. Suicoden's, Tails, Super Mario's. You know, I'll lie. If they redid every Zelda in the style of like the 3D Zeldas, so if they did, so they would have to completely, essentially revamp like there's Zelda 1. I mean, they've already technically done Link's Awakening anyway, but like not in the style of Ocarina of Time. And then yeah, Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds. Link's Awakening, something. If they did all of that, the full Zelda collection, that would be my dream. If Nintendo just hurried up and ported Wind Waker to the Switch, then my life would be complete. Lee and Tintin. Surely these guys will have a finish cut in for each other. Because they get together, don't they? They do. There we go. No, don't ever cut them for each other, right? At least I'm getting all the Tintin fights out of the way. There's certain characters that I don't actually mind doing all the fights now, because then it means later on down the track when I'm like, you know, got 500 left to go, at least I've done them and I don't have to worry about them anymore. Like the Kankaros and the Tintins, I really don't mind doing now. Oh my god, does this guy just want to stop jumping? There we go. One more. There we go. Hinata and Haku. I think I might have asked you this one already, but like if you had to remake every game in a franchise in the style of a later game in the franchise, so like, but that was like if they'd released like a collection that was like remastered, but not necessarily. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So like take Final Fantasy for example. So like Final Fantasy X's fully turn-based, but if they re-released it in the style of like Final Fantasy 15, which is not turn-based at all, Like, yeah, exactly what they did at 7. Oh yeah. Yeah. So if they did it in the open world, like,
The quests, the main quests, and have all the side
yeah.
quests.
Okay. Okay. That's nice. Oh, beans. Wrong menu. Oh no, now I've mucked up my numbers, haven't I? Oh, goodness gracious. It's alright, I'll be able to figure out how many I've done. Back to 1. Fabulous. So what are we at? We're at, after this one, we'll be at 28, which is, if we come down from 92 to 28, so what's that? That's 64. What's 64 so far, I think. Yeah, 92 to 28. Yeah, that's 60, takes you down to 32, yeah. So so we've done 64 fights, which is good. Okay, now I've got Shino, oh, no, not Kanahamaru, Shino, and Youngli. I'm just thinking, what game would I do? Because I mean, what game has the content you like, but if the gameplay had a different style you would prefer? Like, for instance, but then there'll be some games where that just wouldn't work. So, like, e.g., Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. That game is fine on its own without having all the guns and all of that, you know, that sort of stuff that Jak 2 and Jak 3 had. But could it be better? You know, would that be more enjoyable? Probably, who knows? Because I know a lot of people didn't like the direction that Jak 2 and Jak 3 took from the first one. They're like, well, what the hell is this? This is almost like a completely different franchise. And I mean, Dragon Ages are similar enough to each other that it wouldn't actually be that much of a change. Like even though Dragon Age 1, it wouldn't actually be that much of a change. think with the Zeldas, I would like to have the other Zeldas completely remade into Ocarina of Time style. Or Ocarina of Time / Twilight Princess / Skyward Sword / Majora's Mask / Wind Waker. 3D Zeldas minus Breath of the Wild. Shikamaru and Madara Reanimation. Lovely. Yeah, it's definitely easing off. Fabulous. And actually, now that I think about it, even the early Final Fantasies would have been fantastic in the style of like 15, 12 even, 7 remake even. Would it be, oh actually, what one would it be? No, oh, which later Final Fantasy would it be better in the style of? 13-2? In the sense that, because it doesn't really have a world map, so to speak. So the story of Crux. Probably 12? Possibly? Possibly 12. No, 12. 15, that's what I'm thinking of. And it'll be interesting to see what 16's like as well. But I think 16's probably closer to... 16's probably closer to 12. Because they've said it's not going to be open world. It's going to be like zones, similar to how 12 did zones, but probably not as small zones, like not exactly how 12 did, because they'll be like, let's say in a particular region, let's take the Fawn Coast for example, you know, there's a village and there's all these things, but it's broken up into like 5 smaller sections for one region, which I think I prefer something like Dragon Age Inquisition. You've got like the hinterlands. It's this huge region with, you know, a town. And I think it's even got smaller towns in it. No, it doesn't have a smaller town. But just something like that. It was an absolutely huge place. And even there's certain areas that you need to come back as a later level because you'll just get absolutely slaughtered if you went there the first time. So even something like that, like I wouldn't actually mind if it had like regions like that where, you know, you have to come back at a later time, because even 12 had that to some extent. Like in the Damask Estes Sand, there's like a region where there's like a sandstorm and there's like a boss in there that you end up thinking you fight on a hunt anyway. Yeah, but even something like that. There's lots of double ups in this one. Because in the next one's Shisui and then Kisame again. Lots of double ups. Oh my goodness, controller. Grr. Got her now. Lovely. Shisui and Kisame. Fireball jutsu, I think, because the more and more I use the Halo dance one, it's just not working. Not working for me. This time we're going to do that one. So I can't actually remember what this one looks like. Lovely. And then last one. Fabulous. Okay. Okay, Shikamaru and Sasuke turn on your Sharingan. So it is that one, isn't it? Yes. Okay, so I reckon we could probably sneak in one more pair after these two. Does so much damage. Still pretty sure his ultimate must do the most damage out of any ultimate in the game. Surely. Yeah, I'll do one more pair after this one, so which will be Ino and Young Keep. Yeah, so like this would be a perfect example of does the amount of damage that he takes, is it worth the amount of time spent for the animation to do? So like compared to Shikamaru has a higher UDPS, ultimate damage per second. Fabulous. Okay, right, one more pairing. So we've got Ino and Yankiba. Ino fights tend to be fast anyway, so this should be okay. Ino fights tend to be fast and then we'll just get absolutely wrecked. There we go. Lovely. Right, last fight of the day, which will take us to 8,116. So definitely day 47. Day 47 will be the day I hit below 8,000, which would be fabulous. Oh. Lovely and dead. Okay. Lovely jubbly. So list is down to 1,116. Grandmother. Okay. So I will leave it there for this fine day. It's 10:13 a.m. and we need to go get some breakfast, which I'm very excited about. Yeah, so I'll leave it there. So what do we got next week? Next week, Thursday will be day 46. Friday will be trails. Saturday will be trails. And Sunday will be day 47, where we will go below 8,000, which is exciting. Very exciting. So we'll be around that point. We'll be about 28%, 29% done. But yeah, anyway, so I'm looking forward to that. Thank you very, 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 very much for joining me. I hope you have a fabulous morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you is in the world today on this fine day. And I will catch you next week. Have a good one and bye.